Hey, what's going on there, everybody? So I thought I'd do a really quick video explaining why you probably should not pick up a pair of Demonia boots. Um, Many reasons, and we're going to get into that. So if you guys aren't familiar with Demonias, they're basically a boot company or shoe company that's been around since the early 1990s. They became more relevant in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, when people started really recognizing them as a brand, and of course when they become more popular, companies have to make a quick buck, and so they decide, instead of going with quality anymore, they decide to outsource uh, their uh, their quality control to like China, because it's easier to manufacture and get the boots out and ready to go for a quick buck. And it's unfortunate. Tuck, you guys are probably familiar with Tuck. They're the shoe company that makes creepers. Not the only shoe company, but they're the kind of one of the top dogs that makes the creepers. I have a few of those, and those have diminished in quality ever since they went Chinese as well. They used to be made in the UK. I don't know what the fuck happened, but I do not support companies that do this anymore. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm just going to fix whatever shoes that I already own, if they are repairable, and that's it. I'm going to basically not support companies by buying a new shoe again. It's dumb to buy and support a company uh, when that shoe or a boot is just going to fail on you within a year, within a few months, if even that, in a few months' time or a year's time. It doesn't make sense to keep supporting a company like that. You're dumping and wasting away more money than it's worth at the end of the day. But we're not focusing on Tuck. We're focusing on Demonia, right? So Tuck will be for another day. So I actually just got my Demonias fixed by a shoe cobbler, and I just got them back yesterday, actually. I own two pairs. I used to own three, but I think I donated those because they were a size 6. I've been wearing Demonias since I was very young. I'm a size 9, 9.5, roughly. So those Demonias held up a lot better than the ones that I currently recently purchased. It seems as if as the years go on, the boot gets worse and worse in quality, and I'll show you the difference in quality, because the ones that I have right in my lap right now, these are my most recent, and my most expensive too, I think. And they didn't even hold up, but within maybe a year to a few months, they've already started failing on me. So yeah, I got my shoes back. The things that fucked up on mine were mainly zipper related. So I like to put my pants inside of the actual boot. So mine are a high top boot. So I actually put my pants in here. I don't cuff them up. And I think that stresses the zipper quite heavily, and that's what ends up making it rip, especially down here where there's a lot of reinforcement that has to happen down here, right? So a lot of pinching onto your ankle, so it's more prone to stretch out. And so that's what inevitably happened, was that the stitching here started coming apart. This one was that boot specifically. So these are my most recent Demonias that I own. This one kind of fits more of the death rock style, I guess, rather than goth, more so, or I guess industrial look, right? So the first thing that failed was the zipper. As mentioned, it started ripping at the seam. Actually, it started ripping in two locations, one right here and one on the side right here. The guy actually had to rip out the D rivets, because they used to say Demonia. If you look on the other side right here, there's a D imprinted back there. I don't know how crappy my webcam is to pick that up, but that was the first thing to fail on this. And then on the other pair, just like this, I'll put this one down and show you. Did a little bit of some custom work on this one. By custom, I added cobwebs, little trick, and where you take pantyhose and you rip it up to make it look like cobwebs. On this one, it started failing at the sole here, where it was detaching the boot from the actual sole. So So the guy re-glued it down here. He did a fantastic job. He got a little excess glue right here, but it's not a big deal. You can barely see that. And I guess it just adds more look to the boot itself, right? The other thing, because this has more bells and whistles on it, so to speak, so like studs and you know, all these like springs and screws and the bearing back here and shit, these little studs got kicked off when I was probably dancing or something, which I guess that is to be expected because you're using these in hard use. So I'm missing a stud right here, and I'm also missing a stud right here at my index finger, so that kind of sucks. They're not like riveted in, so another thing that, you know, kind of grinds my gears in terms of, you know, making the shoe look like shit, because it's like, well, there goes the studs. I may as well just rip them all out now at that point because it just looks odd, or replacing them with an actual stud, like a spike stud or something to kind of give it more character. Fortunately though, for this boot, it did not rip at the zipper yet, although I will probably expect it to pretty soon. So the guy didn't have to touch this one at all, so I'm thankful for that because it saves my wallet. Yeah, then the last thing to have actually failed on these boots, and again, I'm going to say it again, these are my most recent ones, so these are fairly only several years old, is the bracket. There's actually a bracket that goes on the back of these boots, like so, and fits on the back like that. Reason why I took it off was because one of them had broke while I was dancing. Snapped into two pieces. I've been trying to JB weld it back together, but it keeps failing. The fix keeps failing on me, so I'm gonna have to reinforce it a little bit better at the breakage there. But completely just took them off, unscrewed these little screws that hold it in, and just took them off. But now it looks very plain in the back, so now I gotta find a solution, if not the bracket, something else to go back here. So again, more little shit to break. So the moral of the story here is, the more bells and whistles you have on a boot, again, I'll show you my other pair, the more bells and whistles you have, the more shit is more prone to failing on the boot itself. And if you do expect to, you know, put your pants inside the boot itself to cover, to have the boot go over the pants, it is going to put stress on that zipper when you're pulling up the zipper. Every time you pull it up and you're giving it a lot of force, it seems to want to start ripping the actual zipper from the boot itself, because the stitching's not very good in terms of reinforcing it. So expect that to happen. But that's my newest pair of Demonias that I've owned. Now my old ones that I've had in my closet for fucking years, and I just, you know, it was such a simple fix to get these fixed, you know, so cheap to do because it was just something really silly. Was on these ones, I think it was this one, let me see, was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. So on this boot, the zipper fell off the track, so I couldn't get this thing to go, you know, stay together because the zipper was off the track. So I don't think he replaced the zipper, or did he? No, he totally replaced the zipper. So on this one, he replaced the zipper. I guess you can't actually attach a new zipper head to it. I don't know how shoe cobbling works, or shoe craftsmanship works, but he completely replaced this whole entire zipper. But yeah, the zipper head was off the track. And I had these in my closet for just, you know, many years. These ones are more of my plain, basic Demonias that I own. Another high top type boot. I consider these ones more of the goth boot, whereas the other ones were more death rock and industrial feeling, in my opinion. Yeah, these ones, I can't wait to actually start wearing again, because I haven't worn these ones in probably at least 8 years, maybe. I just had them sitting in my closet for many years because, you know, they've been broken, and these are also a size 9 too, but I've had these for probably at least a good 10 years, 10 or 9 years, and they've just been chilling in there. So, but I actually did restore both of my boots, that's why they're so shiny. If you're curious of what stuff I actually used automotive, Meguiar's automotive interior leather conditioner, and all I did was just, sprayed that all over the boot, got a rag, and just started wiping it down, and they came out pretty nice. So it kind of saves you some money in terms of instead of using, your traditional shoe cleaners and things, because those are probably a lot more expensive than the automotive stuff. So I used it on my car, that's why I bought it. So, and I thought, I'll just throw it on my shoes too, it'll probably work great. But yeah, that's really my thing, my gripe with Demonias, and why you shouldn't buy them is really just what it boils down to is the quality control itself. The cool thing is these are actually a steel tone. I didn't notice that until actually I had them. The other thing I will quickly mention is the thing that I don't like about Demonias as well. Consider this more of a nitpicky thing and more of a preference thing than I would say to actually demonize the company itself. Because a lot of alternative companies like Trip like to do this shit, and it kind of gets annoying, and it kind of cheeses up the product that you already have. And my problem that I also have with Demonias is they brand their shit all over the place. I don't need a product that has the company's name all over the fucking boot to tell people what kind of boot they are. I only need it in one location, and that's it. I'm not a big fan of advertisement all over my body. Of course, though, I'm wearing a band shirt, right? I'd be a little bit of a contradiction, but I don't like multiple brands all over my body, if that makes sense. I don't like having, especially in one location. So this boot, for example, said Demonia on the front here. It had an emblem. I tore that off and threw it away. I didn't care for it. It says Demonia on the buckles down here. It also says D for Demonia on the rivets here. On the back, on the plate that is meant to go here, also says Demonia on the emblem here. I don't need Demonia written all over my fucking shoe. I could probably live with just having it on the belt buckles and the rivets, and that's it. And so that's why I removed the front emblem, because, again, that already looks heaps better. So yeah, and that's my gripe, is just the constant advertising all over their products. So it's something to keep in mind. If you do get a pair of Demonias, expect to see Demonia written all over the fucking boot. Yeah, when you, again, I'm going to say it again, when you buy Demonias, you are probably expected to pay, so if my newest ones were $200, expect to actually be paying $400 to almost $500, really, because first thing you're going to do when you get them, within maybe a few months, within maybe a year, they're going to fail on you. They're just not meant for physical stress. If you expect to dance in these, if you expect to wear these on a daily basis, you are going to have them fail on you. Mark my words on that. Unless somehow they've increased the quality control since I've last, bought them. I don't know, but it seems that they just do not last you very long at all. So, and when I say why you're expected to pay $500 to $400 more, is because you are going to probably take them to a shoe cobbler, just like I did, and spend a few hundred more dollars to basically have them reinforce the boot to where it's actually quality standard. Now, I don't know if his work, is quality, because I haven't worn these yet. I'm going to have to see if they fail on me again in the same spot. But if I know it's quality, then obviously I took it to the right person. So again, having actual craftsmanship versus a machine doing it, I would expect it to be more quality, right? So, yeah, and then having the sole detached from the actual shoe itself, just unacceptable, dude. Like, this is why I will not support companies that make a really crappy quality boot anymore. And the bracket problem, right? So, I don't know. Like, I really wish shoe companies, like, I would be willing to spend an extra $100 if I knew that I was going to get a quality boot, right? I don't have a problem with that, But it's a company's already, pricing their shoes at $200, and then you get crap quality at the end of the day. It's like, why should I even support you anymore? And again, I think a lot of it has to do with people keep buying them. And that's why. As long as if people keep buying this shit, the normies out there that won't put their foot down and say no's enough, like, I'm not going to be taken for a ride, shit like this is going to keep happening. So I would say make a stand, don't purchase their shit anymore. And if you are going to purchase them, at least get one pair of boots that you really like and keep those for the rest of your life and just keep fixing them. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, probably in the next one I'm going to be talking about my gripes with tucks now. I've already had about 3 of them fail on me now, and it took me about 3 times to finally say, you know what, fuck it, I'm tired of these shoes now. So yeah, my tucks, they're in pretty bad shape as well. I've had them for about 4 years, and the whole stitching is just coming apart on those. But yeah, that's probably going to do it for today's video, guys. If you liked the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. And also, the reason why everything's the way that it is because I'm in the process of moving, so that's why you see cat kennels and shit. I've been taking down shit and getting things fixed up. So if you guys are a reoccurring subscribers and like my content, that's why everything's kind of skewed a bit. So I will be moving pretty soon. So hopefully you guys have a good one. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.